Hi, this is Lucas Miller, and I'm here for another chapter of my rewrite of Disney's Wish, The Kingdom of Wishes. Like many people, I felt like it had good ideas, but a poor execution overall, mainly in the second half and ending of the film. So I decided to do my own rewrite. For those of you who have been following along with the chapters where I read my story aloud, thank you so much for taking this journey with me. We're halfway through. We're on the 11th chapter now. It's 21 chapters. You can read the whole thing on Archives of Our Own. In other videos, I have posted the link. Sometimes I'm going to get dramatic and shout some of my lines, but that's because I want to make this story come to life. Thank you so much for following this story with me. We're halfway through. Chapter 11, Kingdom of Wishes. When Asha and Raphael came to the clearing of the woods, the city came into view. They stopped and stared at the Tower of Wishes looming before them like a gallows in the square. "When we turn ourselves in, do you want me to speak first?" said Raphael. "No," said Asha. "It's my fault. I'm the one who called you. I will answer for everything." Raphael turned to his Nereida, who were still fluttering around him. "I am giving myself up. Return to Callistrate and tell the king and queen what has become of me." The little fairies frowned and squeaked in dismay. "Do as I say. I release you from my service." The Nereida sighed and flew away. When they disappeared in the sky, Raphael and Asha continued their journey. They were halfway up the terraces of a city when they met the squadron sent to find them. They were seized at once, for the guards had been given a detailed description of their appearances. "Are your names Asha and Raphael?" said the commander. "Yes," said Asha. "You're under arrest on a charge of vandalism." "Yes, I know," said Asha. "I'd like to plead guilty. We were on our way to confess. We want to see the king. It's about the wishes." The guards handcuffed Raphael and Asha and brought them before the king and queen in their study. "My lord, we have found them." They pushed them down so they would grovel before the king. Once again, Magnifico's fists began to clench and a deadly fire kindled in his eyes. But Amaya placed her hand on his shoulders and shook her head. "Why have you come back? Speak! Are you tongue-tied?" Asha took a deep breath. She tried to look at the king, but his deadly stare was too much for her. So she fixed her gaze on the tiles on the floor as she spoke. "Your Majesty, it's my fault. I stole the wishes. I called for a star to help me find my brother's wish so I could give it back to him. And I took 4 other wishes because I thought I could find their owners. If it were not for the pleading of my queen, you would be put to death. You have committed a capital offense." "I know. I thought all wishes should be granted. If only I had known what that meant. Did I not warn you of the consequences of granting every wish?" "Yes, but I thought you were wrong. I wanted something more for the people. Something better than this." "You have everything a man could want. A loving family, an honest job, a country without slavery, without a tax on land, a thriving economy, a government where every race and religion is tolerated and treated on equal terms under the law. And yet somehow that is not enough. You have no idea what a real tyrant is." "I know. I'm ready to take my medicine. Only don't let my family suffer for what I've done." "We wanted to return them to your Majesty," said Raphael, the Star Prince. "But they flew away and I could not retrieve them, for it was beyond my skills. The first is a boy playing a guitar. The second is a man with a garden. The third is a man who wants a woman. The fourth is a man who wants to seize the property of another man. And the fifth is a man who wants to become a dragon." The color drained from Magnifico's face. dragon. I am Raphael, son of Athanael, and Asteria, king and queen of a nebula of Callistrate. If you place a sword in my hand, I will defend you and your kingdom to the death as penitence for my crime. There may be time to retrieve the wishes if we act quickly, said Magnifico. George, he turned to one of the guards, saddle 2 horses. One for the boy, and one for the damsel and I. Barricade the walls of a castle, and tell the court a dragon may have come to this island. No one is to be let in or out until this creature is sought out and destroyed. Yes, sire. Come, said Magnifico to Raphael, to the armory. You have the look of a noble lad. If you were against me, you would not have given yourself up. The 2 men fitted themselves for battle. Their armor was bright silver, and their cloaks and shields a rich dark blue, with the emblem of a golden sun surrounded by white and silver stars. Then they entered the livery where Asha and the queen awaited them. There was food and water in the supplies, enough to last a week. Here, said the king, handing Asha a bow and a quiver full of arrows. I will show you how to use it on our journey. I do not expect you to fight, but you may have no choice. Your duty is to set up camp and see to the provisions. I see you are no traitor, and your intentions were misguided but well meant. You will not die for your crime, but you will make restitution for it nevertheless. Yes, your majesty, said Asha. As the king mounted his horse, he looked down at his queen. She gazed at him with mournful eyes. They had faced dangers in the past, but for the first time she felt as though he might not return. Tell the guards to release Dahlia from a prison. There will be no investigation, for I am convinced she was not complicit with Raphael and Asha. Even if she were, there is a far worse foe awaiting us. Wash over our people if the battle goes ill. Suddenly the queen felt a spasm of pain and clutched her swollen stomach. What's the matter, said the king. Nothing, she said, leaning on the horse. It's just that someone is really anxious to see the world. She patted her stomach, indicating her unborn child. Magnifico's face softened. He dismounted his horse and embraced her. Oh, Magnifico, I am so afraid, the queen whispered, a tear trickling down her cheek. Maya, we've been through hard times before. It's not that. It's just, what if I lose this one too? She said this because it was the 3rd time they had tried for a child. You won't lose this child, said the king. Just believe. She clasped both hands in his and kissed them. He kissed her in return, placed his hand upon her stomach, and smiled. Then he mounted his horse with Asha clinging behind him. Now, Starlight, he said to his horse, show us the meaning of haste.